I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we stop that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Comes with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment, and a hotel. You know what I mean? This here, right here, is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grace. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck, you can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud, straight up out the base.
TITHES, we're live, sir. Salakia? Come on, sir. Come on, sir. That's what, sir. Come on, sir.
Oh, clap it up. Christ. Shalom, shalom. We are the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander Yahanna. Store 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, teaching blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. You are the real Jews. We are the real Jews. Today is the Wednesday night DC scripture breakdown class. All right, so we're gonna get right into any questions in the room. All right, let me know if you have any questions online. Yeah, you see both Facebook and YouTube, right? All right, keep an eye on that. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, we're gonna get right into it. Shapat, get me Ezekiel chapter 33. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 8. So coming into the school, one thing we have to understand, and coming into the school is definitely, you're taking on a burden, right? You're asking to be a priest and prophet of the Lord. Priests and prophets of the Lord have a specific job that we have to do, especially in times of oppression, especially during captivities. That's what I mean. Priests and prophets of the Lord definitely have a serious job to do because now a lot is on your shoulders. You understand what I mean? Before we even go there, give me Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8 first. Give me Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8.
Oh, God, sir.
I mean, because we definitely got a lot of work to do, especially when the blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are in the condition they're in now, you know, it's definitely a condition that the Lord is watching very closely. You know, as He is punishing them, you know, he doesn't enjoy their punishment. You know what I mean? So that's why He sends out His priests and prophets. You got that, Shapat?
Come, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 6, you say verse 8.
Verse 6, verse 8. You got it.
Come, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us?
Read one more time from the top.
Come, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us?
So this is the prophet, you go ahead and get that. This is the prophet Isaiah speaking. You understand what I mean? This is the prophet Isaiah speaking. You understand what I mean? The prophet Isaiah heard a voice from the Lord. And this is the reason I'm bringing this up is because everybody in this room, you understand, we didn't come here by chance. We didn't come here because we had nothing to do. You understand? Everybody in the school, nobody comes here because, you know, just for the hell of it. Nobody came in here for the women. You understand? Like the Christian church. You understand? Nobody came here for the food. Nobody came here to dance and as a release. No. Everybody came in here for one reason, right? You got it? Read for me again.
Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us?
The Lord asked, who will I send? You understand what I mean? And who shall go for us? That was going on, brother. You understand what I mean? You got it from where you was at, Shapat? Shapat, take it over. Go ahead.
Then said I, here I am.
So now this is Isaiah. You understand? This is Isaiah. He said what?
Then said I, here I am.
Go ahead.
Send me.
Send me. Send him to do what? Go ahead, Bakwash.
Whatever it is the Most High wants him to do.
The work of the Lord. You understand what I mean? And it's the same thing. This right here has been happening time after time after time again. You understand? Where the Lord is basically looking for somebody to send. Now, you brothers, us brothers in the school, we said, here we are. Send us. That's why we go through the things we go through. That's why we have the protocols we have. That's why we stopped being who we wanted to be and became what the Lord wants you to be now. You understand? You can't be that. Once Isaiah said, here I am, send me, he couldn't be the same person he was. He couldn't have the same priorities he had. He can't be just some brother who's lusting after some broad in the world, on the streets. You understand? He now had responsibilities. When he said that, he basically made a oath to the Lord that I'm going to go out and I'm going to do your will. I'm going to do what you want me to do. You understand what I mean? So read one more time from the top.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here I am, send me.
You understand? Go ahead. Take me to you got that? That was the end of that? Right. Take me back to Ezekiel chapter 33.
Sir. The book of Isaiah.
No, Ezekiel.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man.
Now, in our time, there's a lot going on. You understand what I mean? And there's a lot of wickedness going on in Israel, in the entire nation of Israel, left, right, and center. But this is what God said. Go ahead.
Come. Thou shalt surely die.
No, from the top, one more time.
Come. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
When did he say that? When does the Lord say to the wicked, thou shalt surely die? Good.
When he said it?
Yeah.
No, that was my answer.
Say again?
When he said it.
No. When did God say that to everybody?
Oh, Slocky in Genesis. He said that to he said that to the sons of God when they started sleeping with the daughters of men.
In the law. In the law. That's where he said it. You understand? All the law. So basically, he's saying, when I say to the wicked, turn around from your sin or you will surely die, that's in the law. For example, if he says, a man must not sleep with another woman's wife, another man's wife, Salaki, or you must not be a homosexual, that's in the law. That's the law. That is the law that will cause them to die. You understand what I mean? So read one more time from the top.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
Now, here's the problem. Right? We just said, he said it to them in the law, right? What's the problem, Bukwash? To the wicked man, for the wicked man, what's the problem?
That he would have to stop doing whatever it is.
No. All of Israel is sinning. God is saying, when I say to the wicked man, thou shalt surely die. When did he say it? Go ahead. Who had their hand up?
You talking about in accordance with the law?
Yes. So read one more time for the top Shabbat. Salaki.
Come, sir. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
When I say unto the wicked, O wicked men, thou shalt surely die. When did he say it? When did he say to the wicked man, thou shalt surely die? Think of a wicked man. Think of some brother in the streets who's selling drugs. When did God tell him, thou shalt surely die? Barak.
Right in the middle of the drug transaction.
No.
Before the drug transaction.
No. So you tell me God said to him during the drug transaction, you're going to die?
Before.
When did he say that? Before. We just said it. He said it where? It's okay. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna help you out. Somebody goes and steals something, and he gets caught by the police. And he says, "I didn't know I was stealing. I didn't know this belonged to somebody." What can the police tell him?
Ignorance is no exception to.
You could say that, or.
To the first one, when the man dies,
no,
is what he told.
I get what you're saying, but no, that's not the point. I'm gonna give you the simpler one. Somebody sees, well, I'll give you. The police will say to him, "It's against the law. What you did is against the law. Whether you knew it or not, you broke the law." You understand? So when the Lord said, "When I say to a wicked man, you will surely die," right? He said it in the law, right? The laws decide who lives and who dies. The law decides who gets judged, because death is a judgment, right? What is the problem, though, when it says, "When I say to the wicked man, you shall surely die"? The problem is this: that wicked man never heard of the law. He was taught the laws were done away with. He doesn't know anything about what you're talking about. You understand me? So God is saying, I'll give you an example. A lot of people will say, I didn't know it was wrong. Right? I didn't know this was wrong. I didn't know that was wrong. Why should I be held accountable for it? If this bottle of water has poison in it, but I didn't know it had poison in it, does that change the outcome if I drink it? No, it doesn't matter if I knew it was poison or not. I'm going to die because I drank something that had something that's harmful to me. Same thing with the law. The law doesn't care if you're not fully aware of the law. The law is the law. It doesn't bend. You understand? You slap against it, you squashed. You understand? The penalty is the penalty. So a lot of people, they don't know that, homosexuality is wrong. They don't know that if they sleep with that brother's wife, it's wrong. They don't know that, but that doesn't change the law. You understand what I mean? So now, when the Lord says, read for me one more time.
This is Ezekiel 33:8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
Damn. That brother was sharp. Had to interrupt the class. See, that you know what that's called? That's called being fashionably late. That's where they get that term from. All right, go ahead, Salaki. Go ahead. One more time.
When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
When I say to the wicked, oh wicked man, thou shalt surely die. That wicked man being that drug dealer, that pimp, that Christian pastor. We want to leave them out. We always calling out the drug dealers and pimps. That Christian pastor, you know what I'm saying? When I say to him, thou shalt surely die, again, where did he say to him? In the law, right? Go ahead.
If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
Who's an if thou? Who's the if thou? Go ahead.
UPK.
That's it. You understand? That's the importance of it. Read it one more time again.
If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way,
if you do not want to speak to the wicked from his ways, why do you have to speak to him from his wicked ways? Why are you required? Go ahead.
Because it's our job to warn our people.
Why is it your job? Why can't they just know?
Because we don't just know things. We need to be taught.
Right? We need to be taught. You understand? Going back to what Isaiah, the conversation the Lord had with Isaiah, when the Lord said to Isaiah, "Who shall I send?" Right? We just read that. Who shall I send? Isaiah said, "Here I am, send me." Why does the Lord have to send somebody? Because these fools don't know. They don't know that they're about to die in their wickedness. You understand? And the only way for them to know and to turn around and change is the same reason or the same way we turn around and change. Somebody had to teach us. You understand? Somebody had to teach us. You know, you have a lot of wicked Negroes talking about they don't need nobody. They don't need nobody. They got God. You understand me? They have a personal relationship with God. There's no such thing. You understand? There's no such thing. If you have a person, if you think that this generation is the first generation to have a personal relationship with God, so what the hell was all the prophets for in the past? Those people back there, they didn't have a personal relationship, but today you have a personal relationship with God. Understand? It doesn't work that way, right? Read it again.
When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
When I say to the wicked, O wicked man, you are going to die. Right? Go ahead.
If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way.
If you do not say what you need to say, go to speak to him to warn him from his wicked ways. Go ahead.
That wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
He's going to die. You understand? Meaning what? There's no excuse for him. There's nothing to save him. He's going to die. That decision was made that he's going to die. The only thing that could save him is if he changes, or else he's going to die. Now, here's where you come in. Since you said, "Here I am, send me." Since you took the oath, you got to go out there and speak to him. You have to go out there and warn him. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
I had a precept on what you were talking about the personal relationship, how you talk to God.
No, hold on to it. Hold on to it. We'll come to it. I'll ask you for it shortly. All right.
Come.
Right. Read it again one more time.
From the top.
You got it.
When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his ways.
If you do not, and get again one more time, why is it your responsibility to speak to that wicked man?
Because we answered the call and said
you answered the call. That's perfect. You understand? You answered the call. Now you have a burden on your shoulders. You understand? You have a burden on your shoulders that you cannot do it when you feel like doing it. There's no such thing as I'm not in the mood to do it. You understand? You have to do it now because you made an oath to the Lord and said to the Lord, "I'm going to do this." Right? Shapat, take up the reading for me, please.
Thou shalt surely die if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way.
You read it wrong. You read it wrong. Read it again.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. Go ahead.
If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked of his way, that wicked man shall die.
He's going to die. He's going. That brother who's a Christian pastor is going to die. That brother who's having sex with other men is going to die. That brother who's having sex with another man's woman is going to die. You understand? That's just the penalty. And people think like, okay, that death is just God's going to strike you down with lightning. No. A brother who's having sex with another man's wife, how is he going to die?
Domestic violence.
How is he going to die? The brother who catches you having sex with his wife is going to kill you. That's how he's going to die. Yes, it's not magic. Go ahead, Bukwash.
It's like it. So it was like the same similar situation with was it the Big Poppy from Boston who got shot in a club because he was supposedly sleeping with some drug lords rib down in Dominican Republic.
And he paid the penalty.
Concert.
You understand what I mean? That's how you're gonna die. You if you selling drugs, how are you gonna die? Bukwash.
Possible shootout.
Yeah. What? Okay, give me the precept for that. Give me the precept, Barack. You got it? Get it for me, please. I mean, because go ahead, but while Barack gets that, go ahead, keep reading.
Come. But his blood will I require at thine hand.
That's the problem right there. That is the problem for you right there. You understand? Read that one more time.
Come. But his blood will I require at thine hand.
This drug dealer was dealing drugs. You don't know him. You don't know his name. You don't know his family. You don't know what he's selling. You're getting none of the profits. But what?
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
This man is sleeping with another man's wife. You don't know him. You don't know their business. You didn't introduce them. You got nothing to do with it. They met on social media. You was unaware, right? But
his blood will I require at thine hand.
Why? Somebody's at the door, I think. Double check that, please.
So what was the question?
Nah, for what, bro? Thank you.
I believe in that precept.
All right, Barack, go ahead and pull that precept for us in the meantime.
Come. I believe it's in Ezekiel 3:18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
That's it.
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
That's it. You understand what I mean? It's the same. It's the same verse, right? But what's the part there that I'm looking for? When he says, when I say, how will he die?
When it says it dies in his iniquity. Die
in his what?
In his iniquity.
What does that mean?
In his transgression, his crime, his
Go ahead, I'll watch it.
He died in his own sin.
Meaning what?
Whatever he did, wicked gonna come back.
That means a lion is not gonna come out of nowhere into this place and eat you. You know what's gonna eat you? AIDS. Right. That's what's gonna eat you. You understand what I mean? Bullets. That's what's gonna eat you. You understand? Everybody's waiting for lightning to come out the sky so they can say, "Oh, that was an act of God." No, you've seen acts of God every day, all day in your own households. Not you, brothers. You know what I mean? But blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Right. You've seen acts of God are knocking on your door every day, taking your children from you, putting you to death. You understand what I mean? Acts of God happen all day. They're pulling you over. You understand? You're dying in your iniquity. You understand what I mean? Keep reading. Who had it?
Okay. Verse 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way.
But if you warn the wicked of his ways. You understand? But if you do your job, the job that you have taken an oath to do, the job where you said, "Here I am." We just read it in Isaiah chapter 6 verse 8, where Isaiah said what? "Here I am, send me." He took that oath. You understand? Same way everybody in this room took that oath. "Here I am, send me. I will do it. I'll do the job." And let me tell you something, man. You can't back out from an oath from God. You think backing out from an oath from the mob is dangerous, or you're afraid to leave that gang you in because of the oath you took with them. you ain't seen serious yet. Go ahead, Bukwash.
Counselor, question. So can you translate this into times now? For instance, I'm on the slave and I see a brother doing something that is against the law. What should I do?
All right, so that's an excellent question. Now, this is not saying, okay, let's put this. How do we deliver the message? The message that we have to deliver to that drug dealer, the message that we have to deliver to that thief, that is homosexual still a politically correct term? I don't look at it flag. Gay. Gay. Sidebar. Let me tell you, I'm gonna get to your question. I'm gonna give you a sidebar. I hired this at the slave. I hired this girl who identifies as a boy. She wants to be identified. She doesn't even want to be called he. She wants to be called they or them, whatever. This other kid comes in. Another boy comes in and brings her lunch. So I said, "That's your brother?" I said, "Oh no, that's my boyfriend." I like, it's a boyfriend. If I may ask, how does that work? Because you identify as a boy. She said, "Yeah, I identify as a boy, but you could technically say I'm gay because I'm a boy who likes boys." I said, "Good night." It's getting more and more confusing. Go ahead.
Okay, I heard they call them, if they really deep into it, they don't have boyfriends and girlfriends, they have day friends.
Right.
And I'm just like, yo,
and that's
confusing.
it. So now I'm looking at him like, she's saying she identifies as a boy, but she's gay because she likes boys. I didn't even keep asking questions because I was confused at that point. But I'm saying, so this brother here, who's dating a female, accepts to be called gay. Like, he's accepting that he is gay with this girl who is considered, like, it is crazy. Yeah, come on. You understand? So how do you approach that? Do you blaze on them? No, you don't have to. We do that at camp every week. You understand? We do it every week. We set the example by the way we live our lives. You understand? The way we live our lives, the way we carry ourselves, the conversations we have every day will check that person. You don't even have to talk to them to check them. I'm gonna tell you something, man. An evil person will feel inadequate in front of you. Yep. You understand? You'll notice it, like they even have to watch what they say. Oh, damn, Bakwasha is passing by. Okay, let's stop the conversation. You understand? Not because you even give a damn about what they're saying. You like half the time I don't really care. You know what I mean? But they know that these are conversations that I'm gonna look at them weird. Like, you can't really have that conversation around me. You understand? So you could do that, or if you have that kind of relationship with the brother at slave, you could have that conversation with him, and like, you know, because remember, he's not in the school. He's not somebody you're gonna risk your slave over. You understand what I mean? But you could definitely have that conversation with him in a way where a brother in the world will understand it. You understand? It's not like, this is not you speaking to a brother in the school who you could check, a brother under you who you could check and correct, you know, the way he needs to be corrected. This is some effeminate brother in the world who knows how to call HR and play victim. So you got to really be careful with all that. But you go out in the street every week, man. You speak what God says. You understand? You speak what God says, and you know, and what you don't want to think is that anything you do out in the camps is falling on deaf ears. I don't care if there's nobody out there. It's not falling on deaf ears. That's right. You understand? The Lord said, prophesy onto the wind. That's right. You understand? You putting out a spirit out there. You putting a vibe out there. Right. You understand that you're trying to get blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians to catch on to. And even if they do it a little bit, you know, they'll start catching on. I be seeing it, man. I be like, every win blacks and Hispanics get, I like all these sisters come in and talk about some natural hair. I said, yeah, if it wasn't on the street speaking, y'all would still be permanent. Exactly. You understand? Y'all would still be permanent. Y'all not gonna give me credit. But when we speaking, that's when y'all start to gradually go back to that. Beards, all those beards, even their beards looking feminine anyway. But the only reason they have beards is because we've been speaking it. You understand? So they gradually take baby steps into it. Why? Because you're putting a vibe out there. You understand? You putting that spirit back out there. The same way, the same way Esau uses commercials to put their spirit out there. You're in a battle against that. That commercial you seen every day, teaching blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians to hate themselves, teaching them what beauty is, teaching them what's acceptable, teaching them how to dress, teaching them what's socially acceptable. How should you have a beard? Is braids acceptable? Right. All that, nobody's saying it, but it's all in the commercials. The minute you see, okay, he chooses the light-skinned girl every time. So now the light skin becomes the standard of beauty. Or she's ratchet or ghetto. Now you don't want to deal with black women. You want white women. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And nobody says it to you directly, but they put that vibe out there. We gotta fight that vibe with our vibe. That's why our vibe is so aggressive, because their vibe is so subtle, but it's so fluent and so deep. Yeah, you drown in it. Right. So we gotta be extra. Our vibe gotta be extra aggressive, because we gotta battle a bigger enemy. Right. You understand? Okay. David did not come to the battle to play. Right. You understand? He was fighting harder than Goliath. He was going to kill Goliath, right, because he understood that Goliath could kill him. Goliath was looking at him like, who is this dog? Goliath called him a dog. Yeah. But David didn't come there as a dog, man. David came to slay, and it's the same spirit. You understand? You got to go out there and to these camps and really put the spirit of the Most High out there. You understand? So that blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians can start to catch on to it. All right, you got it? Any questions on that?
That was it, sir.
All right, go ahead, Shapak.
Come. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it.
Now, if you did your job, the job that you took an oath to do when you became an officer in the I.S.U.P.K, let me tell you, brother, sidebar, keep your rank. Do not leave the school. Right. It's going to end tragic. You understand what I mean? Because when you make that oath to the Lord, you're not Barack anymore, just or whatever the hell your name was in the world. You are a person who the Lord is using to save his people. You understand? You're an instrument, a tool. What happens to it? Let's say a carpenter has a screwdriver and he's turning that screwdriver and that it breaks. He's throwing it out. Whatever happens to it, it happens. If it rusts, whatever happens, it's useless to him now. Don't be that tool. Right. Be on your job, man. Right. So that, because the job he's trying to do is serious for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Let me tell you, when you leave your rank or leave the school, and all the Lord could see is the people that are dying in the ghettos, the people high on drugs, the people, and you're gonna go join them. You're not gonna join them. You're gonna die. Wait, need you. So you're gonna go leave the school, go and join the drug addict, so we can come and save you. Nah, the Lord's gonna save you that shame. He's gonna end it quick for you. Right. It'll be a quick work. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading, Shabbat. Salaki, I'm deviating.
Oh God. If he do not turn away from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. Mm-hmm. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
Now, if you did your job, but that brother don't want to listen, he's gonna die. He's just gonna be another. Now he's gonna be a tool in your shed to use to warn others. Mm-hmm. You understand? He's gonna be an example to you to warn others now. But guess what? Read again. Last part.
If he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
But what?
Thou hast delivered thy soul.
Now we can read that and just read over it. Okay, he didn't listen. I told him the truth. Okay, he ain't died, but I delivered my soul. Do you understand that part? You delivered your soul. Do you understand the seriousness of that? Right. What's the seriousness of that, Barack? That brother didn't listen to you. He died, but you delivered your soul. What is it saying there?
It's kind of saying like your footsteps were there. Like you.
No, Bakwash.
If I could, is it saying that you're not going to be held accountable?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's saying. But okay, maybe I'm not asking because I knows how I think. Go ahead,
okay, the fact that the Lord is saying you delivered your soul, like you saved yourself because you said something.
Yeah,
you did your
mean
job.
that what?
Your life was on the line.
Your life was on the line with his.
Right.
That's what he's basically telling you. Right. Your life is on the line with everybody out there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. With every, like, when you look at them, like, oh, these are God's chosen people. Right. That's how serious it is. These are his chosen people. When you took that oath, you say, you know what? I'm gonna save them or die saving them. Right. That's what you said. Right. You understand? Or I'm useless. Right. There's no way you're gonna live. There's no way the Lord let you rock. Right. You understand? If you live, he's only keeping you for further judgment. Right. You understand what I mean? The fact that he's saying this brother didn't listen to you, he's gonna die. He's gonna get his punishment. But you saved your soul, meaning that you were being watched also as to what you're gonna do in this situation. Right. You understand what I mean? What are you gonna do while that brother's on drugs? You busy thinking about some whore. Mm-hmm. You understand? So you know what? He's gonna die there. You're gonna die right there with her. That's how it works. That's the oath you took. Right. You understand? That's when you say it all, the oaths all sound good when you're doing them until you gotta do it. Exactly. You understand? Until you gotta do it, and until you gotta be like, you know, these brothers, you know, who are up all night counseling brothers, who are trying to pull brothers out the fire. You know, when brothers like Commander Yahanna, he had to sleep on the floor. I always hear that story. It blows my mind. Right. I mean, where he had to stand up, he had to be sleeping on the floor to build his school. Right. You gonna leave that? I mean, Lord be with you at that point. Right. You understand what I mean? But if that brother didn't listen to you, then you have, but you spoke to him, you have no penalty coming towards you. You saved your soul. Right. You understand? You passed the Lord's test. You understand? You escaped his judgment. Right. Right? Keep reading Shabbat, please.
Oh, come, sir. The book of Ezekiel.
And if anybody have questions or comments, go ahead. Just go ahead and interrupt it, all right? Go ahead.
Oh, come. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 10. Therefore, O thou son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. Thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should we live then? How should we then live?
Go ahead.
Come. Verse 11. Say unto them, as I live, saith the Lord God, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked.
This is what you have to understand too. And the wicked he's talking about is blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Right. You know, so this is not everybody. Like a Christian say, you see, the Lord doesn't have no pleasure in killing the white man. He does. We have scriptures to prove it. Exactly. You understand what I mean? But this is speaking just like the Constitution didn't have nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with them. Right. You understand? He said, the Lord said he has no pleasure in the killing of the wicked. These are his children. These are his chosen people. You understand? He has no pleasure in them dying. They are going to die, though, because guess what? The Lord does not bend. Right. The Lord does not bend because, you know, you're his chosen people. He's going to look the other way. He doesn't look the other way. You understand? You're going to be dealt with. But he's saying he has no pleasure in the death of the wicked. Keep reading.
Okay. But that the wicked turn from his way and live.
But that what?
That the wicked turn from his way and live.
He prefers the wicked to turn from his wicked ways and live. Hence why he needs you. You understand? Hence why he needs you. Because somebody has to go to this wicked man who has been molested all his life, who knows nothing about the laws, who's been lied to constantly, and tell him the truth. You understand? Somebody has to go do it. Keep reading.
Okay. Turn ye from your evil ways. For why will ye die, O house of Israel?
Oh, who?
O house of Israel.
We're just telling you who he's speaking to. You understand? This is not for everybody. Salaki. Go ahead, keep reading.
Come. Verse 12. Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people.
Say unto who?
The children of thy people.
Again, this is who he's speaking to. This is not the world. This is not the people in Poland. This is not the people in the Ukraine who get ready to get the smoke, by the way. It's not them. You understand what I mean? You think if God's spirit is there, God has nothing to do with that. Right. Well, he does have to do with it, but not in their behalf. Right. You understand? Right. If they're dying over here, so that you can live over here. Right. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. The righteous of the righteous The righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of the transgression.
Read again.
Oh, God. The righteousness of the righteous.
So no, read from therefore.
Oh, God. Verse 12. Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people.
Say unto the children of thy people. Go ahead.
The righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression.
And this is something that all Israel has to learn. You understand? Israel needs to learn this, because every Israelite thinks that they're just gonna be. It's the Christianity all over again. It's just they took it. They removed the word Christian from themselves and named themselves Israelites, but they are saved. You understand? They're saved. All they gotta do is not go to work on Saturday and not cook on Saturday. As long as I'm not cooking on Saturday, I'm saved. What's today? Today's Friday, 4 p.m. Hurry up and cook, because after this we can't cook, or else we won't be saved. In their minds, that's what's righteousness. You understand? Read.
As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby.
No, read from therefore.
Verse 12. Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression.
Do y'all fully understand that part? This part here. What is it saying, Bakwash? Just to make sure. I just said it, but I don't know if I made it clear. The righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him. Doesn't righteousness deliver you? Righteousness delivers you, right? Right or wrong? Bakwash like he's afraid to answer. It's not, look, does it deliver you or not? How do you say? By your righteousness.
By your works.
Yeah, which is righteousness. It's correct. But here it's saying the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him. Meaning what, Barak?
Well, as you just said, that well, in that day, it's like in that day, like saying, like trying to do it like last minute, not last minute, but it's like you're not you fooling yourself. It's kind of it's not authentic. It's you're not you didn't actually put no.
What's the righteousness that they're talking about here? Shapat.
Salami, I didn't have it. The righteousness question, but I was going to answer what you were saying in all.
Go ahead.
They're saying the righteousness of the righteous will not deliver them on the day of the transgression. I mean, you must continue to be righteous, because that day that you transgress.
The righteousness of the righteous is like the people, the Christians I'll give you what Christian doesn't think they're righteous?
Exactly.
Every Christian is going to heaven. Why? Because they're righteous. In their mind. Well, that righteousness of the righteous is not going to deliver them. You understand? Thinking that you're not going to cook on Saturday is not going to save you. You understand what I mean? Thinking that, I go to church every Sunday, it's not going to save you.
Right.
Singing and dancing and clapping, that's their righteousness.
Right.
You understand? That's not going to save them.
Right.
Go ahead.
So like if I may too, sir, like you said, okay, that's why it's not going to save them, because it's not real righteousness. It's righteousness in their mind. It's a term we call them, you self-righteous Christians.
Right.
In your mind, like you said, you're righteous.
It's the perfect word, self-righteous.
Yeah, but really, when the day comes for everything to be revealed and we're going to see it, we're going to find out that fake righteousness you got going on wasn't real.
Right.
You weren't doing the things that pleased the Lord.
Right. And it tells you right there, the righteousness of the righteous, not the righteousness of God.
Right.
You understand? That's self-righteousness right there.
Exactly.
You understand? That's his righteousness. You ever hear the term, well, that's your truth?
Yeah.
You can show him plain in the scriptures. Well, that's your truth. Because he has his own truth. He has his own standard that makes him right. Well, that's not going to save him. You understand? Keep reading.
As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness.
Read again.
As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness.
Okay, break that part down. Who wants to take a shot at it? Go ahead, Bakwash.
Like, is it saying that so if a drug dealer hears the priest and prophet say, you shouldn't be selling drugs and whatnot, and then he realizes he shouldn't be doing that, and then stops doing that, turns away from that lifestyle. He's not going to die from that lifestyle.
You got it. You understand? He should not fall by thereof. Thereof what? He will not die in his iniquity. You understand? So the person who thinks he's righteous will, if he doesn't change, he's going to die. The person who knows, and here's the important part with this: that wicked brother knows he's wicked. You understand what I mean? That's why he identifies him as wicked, because he knows he's wicked. He knows, man, I gotta stop doing this. Damn, I gotta stop doing that. Damn, this is wrong. That brother who's self-righteous, you can't tell him. That's why these Christians, man, that thing is straight sorcery. Christianity, it is straight sorcery. It is the bigger battle than the drugs that's being sold in the streets. It's easier to convert, to save, or to help a drug addict than it is a Christian. Why? Because that drug addict knows doing drugs is wrong. And every time he's saying, man, someday I'm going to stop this. All that brother needs is strength. And we could provide that. That Christian church, he doesn't know he's wrong. He is saved in the blood of Jesus as his molesting children. As you understand that? I'm saved in the blood of Jesus. As he's doing every vile thing in there. And anytime he can do it, and whenever it gets too evident, he just throws himself or throws his burdens on Christ. That must be some life, man. You do whatever the hell you want to do, and then throw your burdens on Christ. That's it. Put it on his tab. I mean, go ahead, Bukash.
If I could, when you have a chance, there's a question online. Sir.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Sorry, sir. The question is from.
Also, before we go today, I have to go over this. Okay, I've been meaning to do this class on marriage. That ring that they use to validate themselves as wives, that they need to say, okay, if I don't have this ring, I'm not a wife. We have to go over that because we'll get into that. Go ahead with the question.
This is from Sister.
They need a whole ceremony to make them a wife. Why? Because they're not a wife. You understand what I mean? They're not. Their behavior doesn't befit it, so they need evidence. You see, I'm a wife. I had a whole battle. Cause go ahead. You gotta get me.
I'll be going back and forth all the time. And it's like I didn't hear. It's like, well, I'll wait till I get a man to cook and clean. I was like, if you're not doing it now,
the ring is gonna magically make her able to cook and clean.
It's like it's not in you to do it. You're not a cooker. You're not a cleaner.
That's it.
You get a ring on your finger. It's not going to change.
It's not going to change it.
If you were a person that cooked and cleaned, you would do it while you're by yourself. The same way, if you were a loyal person or had integrity, you would have it when you're by yourself.
Right.
You getting a ring and some damn paper in the courthouse is not going to magically make you that person.
And that, you know what? And that's the problem. And that's why you need give him a hand. You need prophets like Kazak to come and tell you that you're not a wife, even with the ring and the white dress on. You're not a wife because your behavior does not become one of a wife. You understand? There's some sister who doesn't think she's a wife, but she definitely is a wife. Some poor sister. You know what I mean? She definitely, because the way she carries herself, the way she takes care of her household, the way she builds her household up. We'll get into that. Question.
It's from Sister Yahanna Marie. Says, Salaki, sir, what does Ephesians 6:8 mean when it says whether he be bond or free?
Okay. Keep that. We'll get to that one also. I want to get this topic. I'll get that answer, that question, and then I'll get to that topic about marriage also afterwards. All right. So hold that one. We're gonna get through Ezekiel real quick, and then we'll get to that one. Go ahead. Go ahead, Shabbat.
We still on 12.
You got it.
Read from the top.
You got it.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 12. Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sent it.
Go ahead.
Come. Verse 13.
Read that part's important also. I don't want to skip over it. Read again the last part.
Neither shall the righteousness,
this
neither
part.
shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sent it.
Okay. Break that part down for me, please, Bakwash.
If I could, it's saying that the righteous man who knows what he's supposed to be doing and how the Most High works and operates. You're not going to be saved if you smoke that weed or if you pop that whore or if you do any of that other stuff. You're going to die from that thing right then and there. You're going to die.
The man who's been living a righteous life. You understand me? You're 100% right. The man who's been doing well all this time, you're not going to get a pass in the day that you sin. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. Moses. Moses didn't get to go into the promised land.
Right.
He was alive. He had this. You read this history. I don't call them stories no more. This history. Right. You read this history, and it's just like, okay, and the Lord said to Moses, you can't go into the land, and you have to stay behind. Mm-hmm. You understand that all he worked for all these years, battling Pharaoh in his palace, or in his whatever the hell they call that, right? Battling Pharaoh, risking his life, battling his own people, and at the end, he had to stand there and watch them walk into the land he couldn't go into because of what he did. One error he made. Right. Who we might say, oh, this is a small thing. It wasn't a small thing to the Lord. Right. It was not a small thing to the Lord. Right. He had to forfeit his right to go into that land. He had to stay behind alone, you understand, and live until he died. Right. Not allowed to go over there. You understand? All he did was not enough to cover. And this is for the priests and prophets in here. Don't look at all you did in the past for the school and think it's going to cover this error here. It doesn't work that way. Right. You understand? Don't think, I've labored in the school since this year. I've been here 15 years. This, that. You know, nah. The Lord's not impressed. Right. You signed up for this. You 15 years. You owe him your life. He's on 15 years. Right. You owe him your life. You understand? He's not impressed with, 15 years. Now I could go ahead and sleep with another brother's wife. I'll be forgiven. That happens in Christian church. Yep. You know, that happens in Christian church, man. I'll tell you, man. When I was in that world, I used to get away with murder because I used to know how to throw myself on the blood of Jesus Christ. No man is perfect. You saying we perfect? Are you perfect? No man is perfect. And here you better be perfect, man. You're gonna hurry up to be perfect when you understand what kind of power you serve. You understand? When your power is a joke, you don't have to be perfect. Sin, he'll forgive you, you move on. Right. Understand? But when your power is perfect and he expects perfection, then you will lose everything. Right. Everything you worked for, everything you think you accomplished, done. You understand? You will be replaced. Another person, Saul, he had to be replaced. You understand? To his face, he had to be replaced. And he had to see it happening. You know what kind of mental pain, for lack of a better word. Right. You have to sit there and watch this young brother, and he's clearly more worthy than you. Clearly better than you. Right. And the people love him. And you have to watch as he gradually takes over the kingdom from you. And as you have more and more demons on you. It don't matter how, when you read that story, Saul was such a pleasant brother and such a, he didn't want no shine, nothing. He didn't even want to stand up when they were saying this is a new king. He didn't even want to step up, I should say. I mean, for people to see him. That's what kind of brother he was. But in the end, he couldn't follow the orders. You understand what I mean? So the point is, all that you've done will not cover what you do today. You understand? Just like all the wickedness on the other end, all the wickedness a brother has done can end today. Right. Like it can literally end today. What mercy is that? You understand? They say that the Lord has no mercy. He has mercy. Yeah. He's willing to forgive a lot. Right. You understand? He's willing to forgive a lot, but he's not willing to forgive multiple times. You understand what I mean? Right. Not gonna give you pass after pass after pass. He done saved you to bring you in here. You did work in here. You did good in here. You're doing well. You're saving lives. Now you're going to go back? Right. Nah. No, he can't. You understand? He can't. Let somebody else think they could go back and do the same thing.
Right.
You understand? Keep reading, Shabbat.
Book of Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 13. When I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live.
Now, when I say to the righteous, a person who's doing well, you're gonna live. Go ahead.
Okay. If he trusts his own righteousness.
Here we go back to it. His own righteousness. We just spoke about it, right? If he trusts his own righteousness, go ahead.
And commit iniquity.
And what?
And commit iniquity.
And commit iniquity. You understand that? That own righteousness is a very dangerous thing. That's why when it came to Christ, people don't understand that scripture. When it came to Christ, he said, good teacher. Christ said, who's good? Right. Why did he say that? Quick sidebar. Why did he say who's good? He's keeping the forefront of his mind. God is good. I'm nothing. You understand? The minute I'm good, then you know what I got to worry about. He's on his toes at all times. It's not that he did something to make him say he's not good, but he knows that he has orders to follow and he has to stay there. Right. Especially if you understand who Christ is and who he was, you understand why he said who's good better, which is a different topic altogether. Right. But if you know, you know. I know the brothers in here know, but I'm talking to people online. If you know, you know, right? Go ahead, Shabbat.
And commit to iniquity, all his righteousnesses shall not be remembered.
Yeah. That's it. If a brother is righteous and he commits iniquity, righteous is not remembered. You understand me? They're gonna say, well, you know, he did feed the poor. Yeah, he slept with a brother's wife, but he did feed the poor. So let's let him slide. The Lord's not gonna put that stain on his resume, right, or his profile. I mean, you did wrong. You understand? You will be held accountable. You understand? That's why, again, especially when you come up into school, pull that scripture again for me, Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. Stay where you're at, Shabbat. I mean, pull that scripture again, because you have to understand when you make this vow to the Lord, you understand, he's not letting it go. You understand? And everybody in here, you know, nobody in here came in here because, you know, they were just good enough to be here. An invitation was extended to whoever wanted to come. And this is what you said. Go ahead, read again.
This is Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 8. Also, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, who shall I send?
Who shall I what?
Who shall I send?
Who shall I send to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians who are destroyed right now? Who shall I send? Because he needs somebody to send, because his laws stand no matter what they believe. Right. You understand? When I say to the wicked, if you don't turn from your wicked way, you shall surely die. Those laws stand. Right. But these fools don't know that. So who will I send in order to save these people from themselves? Go ahead.
And who will go for us?
And who will go for us? Who will go out and speak to these the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians and tell them the truth, and tell them that, and when it goes for us, not to go and tell them, well, you know, Jesus loves you. That's not the message. Right. The message is, if you don't turn from what you're doing, you're gonna die. That's the message that Christians don't like to hear. Yep. Jesus loves you is a much more pleasant message. Right. You understand? The Lord loves you. You know, you're going to go to heaven. You know, you're going to be in paradise. Right. Those are nice. But the Lord is saying, I'm going to kill them if they don't change. Who's going to go and give them this message for me? Keep reading.
Then said I, here am I.
Isaiah said what?
Here am I.
Here am I. Meaning, here I am. Go ahead.
Send me.
Send me. That's what you said, brother. You understand? The minute you took an oath, you said, this brother right here taking a test over there. Here I am. Right. You understand? Here I am. I'm going to do the job. That's why I'm preparing myself. That's why I'm taking this test. That's why I'm trying to prove myself worthy. Right. Here I am. You can't take that back. Right. You can't take it back. Give me the scripture, Barak, of one who makes an oath to the Lord. You understand? Give me that scripture. That was it on that, right? The water. Back to you, Shabbat, please. Where yet?
But for his iniquity that he have committed, he shall die for it.
Go ahead, Barak.
Precept is the book of Numbers, chapter 30, verse 2.
Tawada, go ahead.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord.
If a man vows a vow unto the Lord, meaning here I am, send me. You understand? Here I am. And let me tell you, there's no reason why you should take a vow that you're not willing to take into school. This school, in my opinion, this school does everything it can to keep us out. You understand? It tells you from the jump, they don't want you. We want no cowards. You know, you get checked left, right, and center. So they do everything in their power from the time you come in to try to push you back out. You understand? You say, nah, here I am. Send me. Give me the test. I'm all black. I want the Hebrew Academy. I want this. Like, have you brothers, like, Kazak is doing everything in his power to get you out of Hebrew Academy. Every week he's showing up. I mean, Kazak gets there, he's like, okay, let's see who's gonna show me. Here you come down the. Here this brother go again. What's he doing here this week? You know what I mean? I thought I was done with him last week. You understand? He's doing everything he can to get you out. Why? Because you don't have to take this oath. You don't have to. You understand? You're still an Israelite. You understand? But when you make this oath, read again, Barak.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
He shall what?
He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
When Isaiah said, here I am, send me, there's no backing down from that. Ezekiel that we're reading from, Ezekiel took an oath. You understand me? Ezekiel took an oath and ended up losing his wife to death by the hand of God. You understand? God killed his wife. You understand? Because now, guess what? Had Ezekiel never taken an oath, guess what? He could have been lovey-dovey. That's the term they still use there, because lovey, booed up. You understand? He could have been in love with his wife. You understand? And let me tell you, man. Well, that's none of my business. You understand? That's none of my business, but be wise. Be wise because, you know, when it comes to these oaths, and it's not just talk to sound intelligent, it's not talk to sound wise. Once you take this oath, you are not your wife's possession anymore like he was in the world. Right. You got work to do. You understand? You are not, you know, your best friend's best friend anymore. You understand? You are not, you are here to serve the Lord. Right. You understand? Christ himself said what? No man who chooses, I'm paraphrasing. Go ahead.
It's like you're talking about the one where he put his hand to the plow.
No, well, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. But the one he says, I'm paraphrasing, he who chooses mother and father and wife over me is not worthy of me. Right. You can't. You understand? You could have, now, to be fair, you could have stayed in that world. And you could have chose them, and you could have honored them, and you could have been the best man you can be to that woman. You know, what was Shaheen's song? You better put that woman first. You could have did that. You see what putting that woman first got him, though.
He never put a woman first.
He did?
He lied. Yeah. He was son of a
well, no, that's putting a woman first. That's putting a woman first. That's wanting to be a woman. You know? Go ahead, you fine.
This my mother's so-called birthday today, and I realized that I'll be putting her in danger by, celebrating her birthday, or even,
Yeah, you love your mother.
Right.
You understand what I mean? You love your mother. That's what they don't understand. They think that's hate. You understand the dangers that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has granted you. That's why when you hear the Lord allowed him to see this, allow him to see that, you see things that they don't see. They see a good time. You see death. You understand? You see death. You see a judgment. Right? So you doing her, you showing her love. You understand? Maybe one day the Lord will allow her to see it. Maybe he won't. I mean, but you definitely showing her love. You know what I mean? Because these people need their birthdays. Forget it. You understand? It's a spit. It's like spit in her face to not go and call her and say happy birthday. Right. I mean, I was at my slave. I'm 7 a.m. in the morning. My phone ringing. The vice president of the company calls me singing happy birthday. At 7 a.m. in the morning. That's how I just wanted to be the first one to wish you a happy. I'm looking at the time like this dude is bugging. But that's what in their mind, like it's that big of a deal. You understand? So now for you to not honor them on their birthday, slap in the face. You understand? His birthday passed, no rings. He slept in peace. You know, he lost his goddamn mind. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Shabbat.
It's like I have a question. So I heard General Muhammad like say this, but I don't know if he's being serious or not. He was like, on your birthday, like, your mother is the one who had to work on your birthday to deliver you. You be better off giving her a present. Would that be out of hand to like say my birthday come around to give my mother a present?
No, that would definitely be out of hand because you're still celebrating something. That's not what he meant. You understand? I didn't hear that class, but I can tell you that's not what he meant. You understand? So it's context to everything. You understand what I mean? He's probably making the point that she was giving birth to you. You should honor her. She should not supposed to be honoring you. That's probably what he's talking about. But to go and give her a gift on your birthday, now you're bringing up a new tradition that the Lord's gonna come forward and show you what's wrong. You understand me? Go ahead.
Sorry to say about me. My grandmother was still living. My mother, when her birthday came around, my mother was like, "You can at least tell her just happened."
Yeah, at least.
I don't do that. She was like, "You ain't ish."
At least.
You ain't ish.
Yeah.
I just walked off.
Yeah. You learning. You just walked off. you getting better. What's high in Christ? Dude, you will walk off. Learn to walk off. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Don't try to battle everybody on everything. They don't want to learn. They don't care. They want what they want. You understand? You're gonna sit there with some old Christian woman who's been a Christian and evil as she could be for the past 60 years. And today you're gonna teach her not to celebrate her birthday. No, but she should know that you don't celebrate it. That's all you can do for her. You understand? She can know that I don't participate in that garbage.
Right.
I mean, but if you want to do it, just know that it's wrong.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead, because
it's like if I may just listen to the brother's stories, it's a whole different level. It's one thing for a woman to accept, okay, this nigga not gonna celebrate my birthday. You're not gonna tell me. But once y'all have a child and she see like you really not gonna do nothing for this child's birthday, it sets in and you can tell that's when the demons really mess with it because it's like all her friends be like, girl, I can understand him not celebrating your birthday, but that's y'all baby, girl. Like that's an innocent child. Like you can see really now Satan is he'll try to use whatever route he'll use to get you to be weak. And it's like you said, you got to a lot of times just stand on or walk away and be like, listen, man, I said what I said. If you throw her a party, she won't be there for that party. Just know that.
And it's important, and these things happen to Black people. I'll give you a one third that seems even more innocent than birthdays. And I told my brother-in-law about it, and it really opened up his eyes, and he really got upset of the very idea. In New York, they have this thing where Black fathers take your kids to school day. Right? This is a day where all the Black fathers would come pick up their kids and take them to school. And then they'd have a whole audience there in the auditorium, and they'd be saying, give yourselves a hand. You changing. They slapping you in your face. You don't even realize. And these brothers in there, they brought this one brother up, like, because my sister was showing me the video, and like she was showing me something to impress me. But when you're in the school, you see things different. They brought this brother up to the stage, and they said this brother came all the way from Jersey to pick up his daughter and bring her to school. Everybody started clapping. I'm saying about why did you have to come all the way from Jersey? Like, why isn't your daughter with you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's like, now there's different circumstances. I get it. But they'll bring him up to make him look like he is garbage. And today he finally manned up.
Right.
Today he finally did something righteous. And he did cheesy and looking like a sodomite. And I'm just getting annoyed about it. You know what I mean? And things like that, they will come up with these things to emasculate you. Especially Black women. They love that stuff because it's like, finally these niggas is doing something. Yeah. I mean, he won't, because I wouldn't even celebrate her birthday. At least you could do is take her to school today. At least take her to school. Right. Do something for once. You understand? So it's important as Black men, this is what I would advise. Don't put your children in any danger by celebrating any wicked holiday.
That's right.
But always make sure that your children know they're celebrated or they're loved. You understand? You don't need a birth. Like, you have to be at the point where the kids, when somebody comes and say, "Oh, it's my birthday today," and I feel special. Your child should look at that. You feel special just today.
Right, exactly.
Today's the day. Like 365 days in a year. Today is the only day you feel special. My daddy bought me. You got that? My daddy bought me that last month. It wasn't my birthday.
Right.
He just bought it for me because he wanted to buy it for me.
Right.
You understand? Oh, my husband bought me this. It wasn't because it was it was Christmas. Right. You understand? Or here's one better. I cooked for my husband. It wasn't for no special occasion. You know what I mean? It wasn't no special occasion. It's just, here's my husband I wanted to cook for him. Right. Therefore, I cook for him, not today, not for Thanksgiving, every day of the week. Right. Consistently. Try that. Right. You understand? Before you go and worry about some ring, try that. Try cooking for your husbands every day of the week. Right. Look, let me tell you, some woman who is cooking for him every day of the week is worth more than some bitch with a ring. Salaki. Yeah. Some woman with a ring in her finger. Right. You understand? Let him choose. Right. Let him choose between the two. You see which one he chooses. Right. You understand? Right. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, if I may, what you were speaking on as far as the emasculation of the brothers, that's basically like the spit in the face. Yeah. With the sodomite put in his brother's face on the stage.
Oh man, don't even talk. That was disgusting. Right, let me tell you. Let me give you some insight to that. I'm gonna explain to you what happened. And the General Muhammad was 100% right that was a punishment. Right. You understand? That was a punishment that he had to do that to him public like that because that brother did something wrong. You want to know what that? I could guarantee you this is what that brother did wrong. He had sex with a woman. Yep. Yeah. He had sex with a woman. Yep. Who in their minds was not his woman or not his wife. You understand? Right. He met some girl and he had sex outside of marriage. That's the thing in the Christian church. Right. You're not, no ring. You had sex. Come up here and let me spit in your face. Right. You understand? Get it. Now, if you did some sodomite stuff, we'll keep it on the low. Yep. Just don't do it again. But if you had sex, come up here, I'm gonna spit in your face. That's what that was about. I could almost guarantee, because I've seen it happen time and time again in the Christian church, where people publicly humiliated because he got a girl now. Right. They used to say he got a girl in the world, like she don't come to church, but he met some girl at work, which Jake does. I mean, he likes the girl. He sleeps with her. To show you still part of this church, you're gonna come up here. Right. I'm gonna rub spit in your face to show that miracles can happen. It's a miracle that I'm keeping you in. It is evil as hell. It is evil as hell. I pray the Lord burn that church down. That's right. I mean, as an example to the whole black people, so they don't go in a place like that. Right. I mean, yeah. Salaki. Y'all got me all distracted. Where Shafat, go ahead. Somebody had another comment.
Oh yeah,
go ahead, Salaki.
I heard the apology of that brother too. I heard it on the radio. He was claiming he said that was his brother, his blood brother. Mm-hmm. And he said he quoted, I don't know how he said it, but he was like, when Christ had spit in his hand and was trying to heal somebody, he said, but that miracle didn't happen. Talking about himself, what he did. Mm-hmm. He was like, so I apologize to everybody. I didn't mean to do that. And then he basically justified it with some other BS. And the women the show that he was on was two sisters. Mm-hmm. And they honored him.
Of course.
He got a big pass on that.
Of course. He got I already know he got a pass. Look, if it wasn't for you brothers making a big deal about it, he won't even have to apologize. Yeah. Damn you, Bakwash, making a big deal about it. He put a little spin in the guy's face. So what? You making a big deal about that? But that's how evil they are. You're 100% right, man. I can't even watch the part where he put the spit on his face. I can't even watch that part. I mean, that was crazy. I mean, Shapat, go ahead. Where you at? Good. Let's go through this real quick, and then we're gonna get to that question, and then we're gonna go into the ring. Go ahead.
Come. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 14. Again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if he turn from his sin and do that which is lawful.
And what I want you to understand when we're reading this, when I'm not focused on the wicked and whether they will live or whether they will die. I'm focused on the messenger here. We're focused on the messenger. your job, what you took an oath to do. You understand what I mean? The seriousness of your oath. Because the seriousness, when you take an oath like that, life and death hangs in the balance. And you are in the middle trying to prevent death. Who's the death coming from? The Lord. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. Again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if he turn from his sin and do that which is lawful and right. Verse 15.
Why would he turn from his sin? On topic. Go ahead, Bakwash.
Because he's been warned.
Because he's been warned. You understand? He's been warned. Somebody told him he's wrong. Now imagine you're not doing the job. Imagine you're not doing the oath or following the oath that you took. This brother, his only chance to not die at the hand of the Lord is you. That's his only chance. So it's an evil thing for you to not go and do the job. Because that brother, whether he knows it or not, whether he knows what he's doing is wrong, that's wrong. So whether he knows what he's doing is wrong or not, he's going to die. He will surely die. That's what it says. So his only chance of not dying is you going to do what you said to the Lord you would do. Now you can't turn around and say, well, I'm not going to go do it. You understand? Keep reading.
Oh, God. Verse 15. If the wicked restored the pledge, give again that he had robbed. Walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity. He shall surely live.
He will what?
Surely live.
He will live. You understand? And like we read, the Lord does not desire anybody to die. All right, we're gonna speed it up for the sake of time. You can read the rest of that to understand the oath and what we have chosen to do as priests and prophets of the Lord and the seriousness behind it. When you read it, don't read it with the intention of seeing what will happen to the wicked and what will happen to the righteous. Read it with the intention of, from this angle, what will happen to me if I don't do my job? What will happen to these people if I don't do my job? You understand what I mean? That's what the angle you want to read from, because you're not a civilian who is just reading about what will happen if I return from doing sin. Will God forgive me? You're not that civilian no more. You have elected or requested to be in the school, a priest and prophet of the Lord. Therefore, you got a job to do. You understand? Let's go to the sister's question now.
Come. Question is, Slacky, sir, what does Ephesians 6 and 8 mean when it says, whether he be bond or free?
Pull the scripture for me, please.
Is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 8. Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free.
Read 2 verses up.
Come. Ephesians 6 and 6. Not with eye service as man pleasers, but as servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart. Verse 7. With good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free.
Okay, so this is speaking. So the bond or free, I guess, is the question she's asking about. That's speaking about status, the status of a person, right? So in that time, you had people like, it's, how do I put it? Even here, not too long ago, you had people who were quote unquote in captivity, even though we're all in captivity, but there was different levels of captivity. Right. Even then, there was a similar situation. If you recall the conversation with Paul and the brother who was he was a centurion, the Roman centurion. He was a brother, and he asked Paul, when he saw Paul, he asked Paul, "How did you get free?" And Paul said, "I've been free. I was born free." And he said, "I paid for my freedom at a great price." I mean, he bought him his own freedom, right? So that's talking about status, basically. There was in those times, There were statuses of people who were, had a slave master and would not receive like pay, but would be just the property of that slave master, versus somebody who didn't have a slave master. So he's talking about being free or a bond, meaning just their status. No matter what their status was, you could look at it this way today. I'm gonna make it simple for you today. Rich or poor. You understand? Change those words, bond and free, and put rich or poor. Read it again.
Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be rich or poor.
That's it. The status of that person. You understand? Bond or free, rich or poor. It doesn't matter what your status is, the Lord's going to reward you. You understand? So you just got to understand the times that you're reading about. I mean, to understand why they're saying bond or free, right? Bond or free is literally rich or poor to me. That's all it is. I mean, because different topic, but yeah, that's all it is. So hopefully that answered her question. Any other questions there?
Lots, sir.
All right. Marriage. First of all, on the topic of like, you see a lot of people, a lot of women, they push that whole thing. And it's not their fault. From the time they were children, they were watching Cinderella. They were watching the White Knight. They was watching, the whole ceremonies, and they were being prepped to think the way they think. No woman just comes out thinking however they want to think. From the time they're children, they're being prepped. And the biggest day of their life is what? That thing that you refuse to give to them. I heard some brother call another brother and said to him, when are you going to make my sister an honest woman? You understand? Because his sister been complaining that he doesn't want to marry me. Meanwhile, they got 3 kids living together 11 years. He doesn't want to marry me. You understand? So the 3 kids paying your goddamn bills every day, dealing with all your emotions is not marriage enough. Only thing that's going to solidify the marriage is what? A ring. In fact, guess what? 2 strangers could meet today, right? And for legal purposes, to get a visa or something, whatever, they could put a ring on and they are married with no bond, no nothing. But legally they're married and everybody accept they're married. But a man who's been with a woman for years, has children with her, has been through ups and downs and all the pains and struggles that Black people go through, they're not married unless he puts a ring on it. And again, these sisters, they've been prepped for that. You understand? So we're going to understand a couple things. Number one, that whole thing is it's a way to prove it to themselves that they're married. Why? Because like Kazak was saying, their behavior is not becoming of a woman who's married. You understand? Their behavior is not becoming of give me the scripture, Barak. She built a household with her own hands. You understand what I mean? Their behavior is not becoming of one, because even when she has a ring on, she could look at it and say she's married, but she can't look in the mirror and say she's married. She can't look at her husband and say she's married. But this is the proof here. As long as everybody sees this, they'll know that I am a wife. I am worthy. I am a wife. You understand? But if I don't have this, certainly my behavior doesn't say anything about me being a wife. You understand what I mean? You got it, Barack? Go ahead, call it and read it, please.
In the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Read it again.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Every wise woman. You understand? Every wise woman. What's the proof that she's wise? Shabbat.
I was going to go to scripture. She built her house.
She built her house. That's the proof right there. Every wise woman builds her house. You understand? That's the proof she's wise. Everybody, all these, you're not wise because you say you're wise. That's like that. Back to the same topic. That's self-righteousness. That's self-wisdom. That's not just because you say it doesn't make you wise. There has to be proof that you're wise. You understand? They gotta look at your household and say this woman's wise. You understand? And the proof is that she builds her house. How does she build a house? Like by using brick? How does she build her house? How does she build a house? How does a wise woman buildeth her house? What's the metaphor there? I'll watch it.
I don't say through her virtuous actions.
Yeah, like what? Give me some examples.
She's skillful. You know, she knows her way around the clothing area. She knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. You know, keep a decent house.
I'm gonna tell you this. That, you know, she knows her way. Meaning that she knows how to sew.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely some skills. But today she may not know how to sew, but she knows how to get the bag. As your mom would say, yes, man. Let me tell you something. These sisters here, they know how to get to the money. They work under me in slavery. They like there's certain of them. You put them in the role, they're gonna play that role to the T. Everything has to be perfect. It's a skill. And I often look at it and say, like, I always tell that I've been to this story for years. There was this one sister, she was from Ecuador. And she used to be on the phone as she is wiping down the counter. But she'd be on the phone and she's just cleaning around, but she'd be cussing her husband out on the phone, right? And one time I heard the conversation. It was over because he left a cup on the table. And she was like, don't leave the cup there, this, that. So I used to get coffee in the morning. I used to put my coffee right there every time. I'm like, I want her to come and tell me something like that. She'd be cleaning the counter. She passed by. She picks up my cup. She wipes the area. She takes a napkin, puts it under there, and puts it, and then goes back to yell at her husband. I said, God damn. I said, so I'm thinking in my head, you know what to do. You know how to honor somebody. You know how to respect somebody. But him, you can't give him that honor. I could care less about you. Right. Yeah, I'm not your man. You know, I'm setting you up so I can cuss you out. You know? And you do that for me, but you can't do that for the man who you lay next to. The father of your children, you can't do that for him. You can't honor him that way. You'd give that honor. And that's why, you know, a lot of sisters, they're going to get exactly what the Lord sees fit for them because they know how to do it. They do it for strangers all the time. They'll smile in the face of Esau and frown in your face. You understand? They love everything somebody else is telling them, but they hate you. You understand? They know how to do what's right. You understand? So read it again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
Right. Go ahead. Oh, that was it, right?
Yeah,
the water. I mean, give me Proverbs 12, verse 4. So we got to get to what is a wife. And what you're going to notice throughout all the scriptures that we're going to read today, none of them involve a ring. None of them involve any of the stuff that people respect today. You understand? None of them involve any of that. It's all about what? Behavior. Behavior. That's what it's about. You understand? How do you behave in your household? How do you behave towards the man that you're with? How do you behave towards your children? That's what it's about. It's not about, jewelry. Jewelry is not what. And the funny part is this. They're quick to tell a man, just because you having children don't make you a man. They'll tell you that quick. Because why? There's things that require of you to be a man. There's certain behaviors they want to see in order to consider you a man. So they'll say, just because you have children don't make you a man. Just because you have children don't make you a father. You hear that? Yeah. What did that bastard, what's his name? Obama goes to that church and say, I'll never forget it. Remember that when he went to that church, that Christian church? He went up there, he said, Black woman, you are the backbone of Black society. Black men, you need to take care of your children. He said that. I was like, good night. And all the sisters got up and started clapping and going crazy when he said that, because that's the picture they've painted of you. That's why, your self-esteem or how they see you is so low. You understand? They see you as so low because your behavior in their eyes, like if you're not taking care of your children, that doesn't make you a father, right? But when we flip it around, that ring is not what makes you a wife. You understand? That wedding dress does not make you a wife. That ceremony is not what makes you a wife. You understand? Your behavior is what dictates, Now, don't get me wrong. Once you sleep with that woman, she is your wife. That's not what I'm saying. Once you sleep with her, she is your wife. But if she wants honor in being it, this ring is not what gives her honor. Is what I should say. You understand what I mean? Right. The ring is not what gives her honor. The wedding cake is not what gives her honor. That party is not what gives her honor. That party would quickly destroy your family before it gives you honor, gives her honor. You understand? You got what I asked for, Barack?
Proverbs 12:4.
Let Roger read it. Go ahead.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband.
That's what you have to understand. You understand? A virtuous woman. What's a virtuous woman? We just said it. Go ahead. A skillful woman. You understand? She is a crown. What?
A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband.
Is a crown to her. How is she a crown to her husband? What does it mean to be a crown unto her husband? Go ahead.
Honor to her.
An honor to her husband. You understand? Glorious to her husband. You understand? Glory, something to be honored. I mean, something where they see her, who she is and her behavior, and they say, "Bakwash got a righteous woman. The Lord must have blessed him." The Lord must love him more than he loved me. Because I can't deal with mine, but he got a righteous one. You understand what I mean? It's a crown unto you. It's beauty unto you. You understand what I mean? A crown does what? Beautifies you. You understand? Go ahead.
But she that maketh ashamed.
But she that maketh ashamed, no matter how much jewelry you got on, she that shames her husband, no matter how big the rock on her hand is. Right. Think Kanye West. Right. Think Kanye West right now. Right. You can imagine how much that rock costs. But she that shames her husband, go ahead, Bakwasha.
Will Smith.
Oh my God. Between J. Pickett Smith and Gabriel Union, I don't know which one is the top which. You know what I mean? Like those two are top notch. Right. Good night. And these are people who, you know what I mean, they got the ring on. To the world, they're attractive. They must be the perfect wife. Right. And they're nothing but what? Read that last part.
Okay. But she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in the bones, in his bones.
A woman who is going to shame you is as rottenness in your bones. Meaning what? It's like you have bone cancer, bone marrow cancer. Mm-hmm. I knew a brother who had bone marrow cancer. That thing ate him up. That's what the Lord's comparing it to. A woman who shames you. A woman who's always running her mouth in things that she got nothing to do with. A woman who's not shame-faced. Right. A woman who will blast the school every chance she get. A woman who, speaks against everything that the school stands for. Speaks against everything that the Lord stands for. Somebody who thinks they'll dictate what happens in the school. Yep. You understand? I know it drives, like only the meekest of sisters could be in here. Right. You know what I mean? Only the meek sisters could, because I know, like, you see these Christian women, I don't know how they even survive even 1 minute in here. You know what I mean? Because without being heard, right. Without singing and clapping and, and twerking. Mm-hmm. I mean, they want to be, it's not what they, and look, I'm not even mad. Like, it's not for them. Lord be with them. Right. Don't come in here. You know what I mean? Shout out to the sisters that are in here, though. Most High in Christ. Shout out to the sisters that are in here, because they belong here. You know what I mean? They belong here. The Lord brought them here. You know what I mean? They took an oath too to serve the Lord. I mean, they took an oath to serve the Lord, and they're gonna serve him. I mean, read it one more time for me.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, mm-hmm. But she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones.
That's it. You understand? You can't. And get me First Ezra chapter 4. Give me First Ezra chapter 4. You have to be aware of these type of women. You know what I mean, especially when it comes to, that's why you have the 6 month rule, and have all types of rules in the school. You know what I mean, because brothers are, like we was talking about I'm gonna give you one. We're talking about birthdays, Kazak, and how it's tough. They see it as wrong that you don't celebrate a child's birthday.
Right.
Let me tell you the toughest time not to celebrate birthday. When you courting a sister and it's her birthday for the first time. You know what I'm saying? My birthday's coming up. My birthday's in a week.
Right.
Even when you say, "No, I don't celebrate birthdays," for them, but you're gonna do it for me. In their mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't celebrate for them, but I'm special.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that day comes, and the call never comes, the gifts never come, and that might be the end of that courtship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That unless you fold. Unless you fold. I mean, don't fold in ways, don't fold in ways that, what's the term? A passive aggressive fold.
Right.
Where you kind of like, I don't celebrate, but happy born day. Don't do that, brother. The Lord's not gonna let you pass on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, give me what I asked for. Verse 26. This is what you have to learn about going after a sister. Go ahead.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yea, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother.
No, First Ezra 4:26 is what you got.
4:26.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Salaki. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Read it again.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
What do you mean to run out of your wits? You done? Most high Christ. All right. Go ahead. What does that mean?
It means a man just doing the dumbest thing just to get the woman.
Hey, that's what men will do. I mean, women will have that effect on you. You understand? And there be how many? Read it again.
Come. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Many there be that will run out of their wits for women. Go ahead.
And become servants for their sakes.
And be what?
Become servants for their sakes.
That's what happens, bro. You understand? You become a servant for their sake. How could you become a servant to her and still keep your oath to the Lord?
Right.
One got to go, or you got to go. Something got to happen. Something got to break.
Right.
You understand? You're gonna find out that the Lord. And let me tell you, brothers, don't listen to these women. I'm telling you,
right.
When the Lord comes, black women will put it all on you. That when the judgment comes, if she could speak to the Lord, she would say, "Lord, Barak knew I was weak. I don't know why he didn't just stand up to me. I was wrong, but I'm a woman. I'm emotional. He just didn't do his job." She will throw you under the bus, brother. I'm telling you. So for her own sake, get in line now. Go ahead, Kazak.
So like I said, it didn't take the Lord to come for me to realize that I remember I was younger, and this sister kept bugging me to do something. And of course, we wanted the truth. And she kept bugging me, and I finally came in to whatever it was that she wanted. I can't remember. And I did it, and I remember it backfired. Everything fell apart. It backfired terribly. And I remember she was just angry at me. She was mad. And I'm like, "Why the hell you mad? Like, that was your idea." I was like, "I told you it was stupid." I was like, "That was dumb." She's like, "But you let me do it." And from that day forward,
right.
it set my mind. I was like, "Oh, I've seen the responsibility that has to happen."
Yeah.
Like, brothers really don't fully grasp that responsibility you taking on a sister. Like, it's different.
Let me tell you something. Somebody say, go ahead with a question.
Sorry, there's a question online on topic.
Go ahead.
There's a question from I.S.U.P.K. Says, "Shalom, what advice would you give for sisters who are thinking about coming into the truth?"
What advice would I the truth is very serious. Coming into the truth is not like going to church. You could go in and out of the church as you please, you know what I mean, and do whatever the hell you want to do in there and sin and repent and sin again and repent again. I mean, fall, get up, fall, get up. Salakia. Salakia, give me 1 second. Slack about that. I mean, the advice I would give you is don't come in here to get comfortable. Don't come in here thinking it's not gonna be pleasant. I mean, that's like asking a question like, what advice would you give somebody who's getting ready to go into a furnace? You understand? Yeah. Now the outcome is what? Pure gold. But the process is not a pleasant one. Meaning that you're gonna have to experience things that you're gonna come for a sister coming to the school, you're gonna come from the first time to a place where you're not a goddess. You're not, Mother Nature, all these terms you get. You are just a sister who needs to change, and we're gonna help you change. We're gonna counsel you. We're gonna help you. We're gonna give you the right amount of pressure to make you come into what you need to be. You understand? If you come in here to change, you have to remember that coming into the school, you're not gonna stay the same person. You're gonna have to come in here and transform into something that's acceptable to the Lord. You understand? So it's not something that you're gonna come in and get comfortable, where you're gonna come in and be praised and worshiped and get what you want and have your way. No, because at the end of the day, the school it's a good question too. The integrity of the school is everything. Right, and sometimes and this is not for you, sister. Lord willing, you come into the school, you get accepted into the fold, you become our sister. I mean, that's Lord willing. But sometimes it's better you don't. You understand? Sometimes it's better you don't, and it's not because we don't want people here. We're not looking for numbers. This is not a mega church. I mean, the few people in here, I know they're gonna be here every week. I mean, the people in here are faithful. The few people in here, I would trust with my life. You understand? So it's like that's the kind of family you're coming into. I mean, and if you're willing to put in the work and really humble yourself, and that's something that sisters not taught to do. Sisters, you could flirt your way out of everything. Not in here. I mean, ain't nobody trying to flirt with you in here. If you have a husband, that's your man. You understand what I mean? Don't try to come in here to run from your man. If that's another thing too. I'm not saying that's this sister's case, but in a Christian church, you want to leave your man, just say you to give your life to Jesus and you run in there and get another man. You understand? That's not this place, right? What I would advise, or whatever city you're in, call the camp leader, reach out to the camp leader, speak to them, let them know that you want to come to the school, get the counsel, and Lord willing, you'll be in here. You'll be at the Passover. When's the Passover? April 15th in Florida. I mean, so I'm not even going to ask you, brothers. We're never ready, but we got to make it. I mean, but yes, it's advice I would give you. Look, if the Lord wants you in here, He wants you in here. I can't even give you the advice on it. I mean, only thing I can say is remain humble. And sometimes the test to see if you should be in here is when you get checked for the first time, when you get told that you're wrong for the first time, when you get told that skirt is too tight for the first time. A lot of people didn't even have fathers, so they can't imagine a man telling them what to wear, or how to wear it, or what they can or can't say. Like one of the most popular terms in history, you're not my father. And here is a classroom full of fathers. You understand? Full of fathers, all concerned with you. But more than that, all concerned with the integrity of the school. I mean, and last thing we want is anybody to come in here and shame the school. But if you want to be in the school, it's not our place to tell you don't come. Definitely come. Lord willing, you'll be around for years. I mean, on the flip side, leaving the school is not. That's why that's the part where I say don't come. If this is something you're going to come and try, don't waste your time. Right. Understand? Keep watching classes online for a while till you get the spirit where you say to yourself, I'm going in there, I'm not coming up. You understand? You can watch the classes online. Every class, they're all online. I mean, you don't have to take an oath. You don't have to come in here and, and become part of this body. Right? Because when you leave, not that we're going to do anything, but, the demons are going to, do what they do. Go ahead, Kasha. You got to roll. Got you. Barack, could you take the laptop from me, please? All right. Poor guy, boy, you got to roll with him? All right, most high Christ. All right. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that answered the sister's question. Bottom line, reach out to that camp leader. I mean, reach out to that camp leader. Let them know you're interested in watching the classes or coming to the school. Obviously, watching classes online, coming to the school in person, and work that out. I mean, and be 100% honest also, please. All right, who we at? Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. I'll watch it. I mean, this is for those who think that again, that marriage thing it's not basically a ring or stuff. It's basically who you are, your behavior. You understand what I mean? Right. Go ahead. Verse Ecclesiasticus 26:25. This is from the Lord, and the reason I read this scripture is not for shock value, but I want you to understand what the Lord thinks of certain type of women. You understand? You think the Lord is just here to, and to the sister's point, like, you come into a place where we read the Bible, you think you just come in here to hear God loves you. Right. God is a father. Right. God corrects, and you're going to hear certain things God will say that you would say, not my Jesus, is because you never served this God. You never served the God of the Bible. Right. You understand? You don't know nothing about him. That's why a lot of things he says is shocking. I mean, even when Yahushua was on earth, he was teaching, and they said, what? They said, who could hear such speech? The things he was saying was shocking. I mean, these things were like things that people were used to hearing. I mean, this is something that you're not going to be used to hearing. Go ahead, read.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
Read again.
A shameless woman.
This is a woman who wants to be, this is not a woman who wants, this is for women who think that marriage, a ring, a wedding ring is what makes them a woman. That's what makes them an honest woman. You understand? When are you going to make me an honest woman? When are you going to make my sister an honest woman? When are you going to make my daughter an honest woman? They think because she's in the house with that brother, she's not an honest woman. Right. This here is not talking about a woman who's living with a man. This is talking about a behavior. What's the behavior? Read again.
A shameless woman.
A what?
A shameless woman.
A shameless woman. That's the behavior. You understand? That's the behavior that the Lord is singling out here. What about that shameless woman?
Shall be counted as a dog.
Shall what?
Counted as a dog.
Counted as a dog. What's a dog?
Four-legged beast.
What's wrong with y'all? It's talk so harsh. A four-legged beast. A bitch. Right. That's the word. I'm a female dog. You understand what I mean? That's what a shameless woman will be counted as. And look, you're not going to be counted as, oh, well, she's a wife. No, she's not a wife. She is a dog. Okay. You understand what I mean? She is a dog waiting at every opportunity to shame her husband, to shame the school, to shame the Lord. You understand? To shame the Lord himself. How does she shame the Lord? Every heathen is talking about your twerk videos. You understand? Every heathen is pointing to you, to their daughters, as to what not to be. Right. The chosen people of God. Yep. The people who are called by his name. Yashala. Don't be like her. You understand? Now, I know a lot of people say, well, they're saying the same about men. Yeah, I know. But we're talking about women today. You understand? Don't run from this accountability. You understand? We talk about men. We talk about women. We all need to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? Don't run from this accountability. Carry yourselves in a way that honors the Lord, man. I mean, people always call themselves the daughters of Zion. It's so nice and so honorable to say. You understand? But when the heathen look at you, what do they see? East Indian, let me tell you something, man. An East Indian could never respect a black woman while you wearing her hair. While you got her hair in your head, you want her to honor you. Right. You understand what I mean? Okay. She should respect you because she had to sell you her hair because you couldn't grow your own. Grow your own, man. Serve the Lord. So I'll never forget Commander Yahanna said, you know, why don't y'all serve the Lord so he could let your hair grow? Serve the Lord so he could let your hair, maybe he'll let it grow, you know? Do that. That's let me read it again. I'll watch it.
A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
You got it. You understand what I mean? Now, what is this supposed to be? Give me Proverbs 18:22. Proverbs 18:22. And if anybody has any questions, ask or questions online, I'll let Brock keep eye on the questions online.
Nothing right now.
Dwella. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs 18, verse 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Read it again.
Kawakan. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Now that's a wife. When you find a good thing, sisters, if you want to know if you're a wife, ask the man with you if you're a wife. And let me tell you, by nature, we always credited whether you had a ring or not. We always credited women. When the child, we used to call our girl our wifey. She had the title already. You understand? She didn't need no ring to have that title because she was so good to her brother. You understand what I mean? You gave her that title. That's wifey. You gave her that respect. That's wife. That's my wife. You understand? There was no ring on her finger to make you give her that title. You understand? So if a brother finds a wife, a qualified wife, he finds a what?
Whoever so findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
A good thing. Meaning what? She's not the good thing, but what she brings to the table, I should say. Who she is the good thing. You understand? Who she is, how she behaves is a good thing. Keep reading.
Kawakan. And obtaineth favor of the Lord.
And what?
Obtaineth favor of the Lord.
Obtains favor from the Lord, meaning that she was a blessing from the Lord. You have to be able to look at your marriage, sisters. You understand? And your relationship with your husband and ask yourself, am I a blessing from the Lord? Just ask yourself an honest question. You understand what I mean? Am I a blessing from the Lord? If you need help with that, just go ahead and ask him. Just ask him and look at his eyes as the top of his head starts to steam when you ask him that question. You understand? The battles that we go through are unnecessary. You understand? With these sisters, and the battles are proof that it's not you're not a blessing to the Lord from the Lord. You understand what I mean? You're not a blessing. You're not the support he needs. Right. But here's the good news: you could become that. That's the part that we like. Because somebody tells you, "Look, you're not a blessing from the Lord to me right now." You could go one of two ways. You can get upset and cuss him out, or you could change and become that. Right. You understand? It's easy to get mad because you think you're just supposed to be a blessing just because you're here. Right. That's not how it works. You have to make yourself that person. Right. Just change. It's easier to skip the Brazilian butt lifts. Skip all that. Yeah. Save the money. Skip all that. Y'all been together 15 years. Right. That's not going to impress him. No. And what people have, and let me give you some advice, sisters. Once a brother's been with you for a while, physically, it's nothing that's going to impress him. Right. You understand? Physically, there's nothing that's going to impress him anymore. But who you are will. Right. Because physically, anything you present to the table is out there also. Right. You know what's not out there? Kindness. Right. Mercy. Love. Right. Compassion. That's not out there. Right. You understand? That brother walks down and has to watch every black woman frown at him. You understand? There's none of that out there. Right. Put that in your household. Try that. Try that in the household. Right. You understand what I mean? Because those surgeries that y'all running to get, that's not going to save your marriage. Mm-hmm. That's because he sees that every day. If you watch a man walking, his head is always turning. Why? He's seeing what you bring into the house. The same thing you have in the house, he's seeing on the streets. Right. That's why his head is turning. Right. You understand? So don't think you're gonna bring something unique, right? Unless you're bringing that personality. Right. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
It's like if I may, we out there all day long in the oppression, and there's nothing more
more wanting to do to come home to that peace of mind.
Yeah.
Some soft legs.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, soft. That's your thing. Those soft legs. I mean, but those soft legs, look, but those soft legs will become as a tree bark when you're an evil woman. Yep. You understand what I mean? When you're an evil woman, give me Proverbs 21:9. Give me Proverbs 21:9. I mean, give me 9 and 19. You understand? Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs 21, verse 9. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
It is better to live on a corner of a housetop. Mm-hmm. You understand? It's better to be in the atmosphere, even in this weather. Let me tell you something. There are brothers who come home from work, from a long day of work, and this is a true fact. Like me and this brother I know in the world, we always laugh at this because he comes home from work, right? He works overnight. He drives in front of his building. He parks the car out. He takes an hour nap in the car before he goes in and deals with that. You understand? He takes an hour nap in the car, before he goes in and deals with that. Read it again.
Verse 9. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
Verse 19.
Verse 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman.
Get that to your head, sisters. Yes, it is better to dwell in the wilderness. Meaning it's better to be homeless. Mm-hmm. A brother would rather. That's why you see a lot of brothers on the street. They don't want to go in the house because they know that what they have to do what they have to endure in that house. Right. Nobody wants to stay up and fight all day. I mean, a lot of sisters, they like that. They like that the back and forths, But nobody wants to do that all day. Nobody wants to fight all day with you after a long day, or even if they didn't have, even if they was home all day. Right. Talk. Nobody wants to go through all that. Right. You understand? Go ahead, Kazan.
So like I said, if I may, just to tie it all together, and this is why many of these Christian women and women outside of the truth, this is why they don't like the fact that a man can have multiple ribs, because in their mind, they understand that if a man had to choose one to be with, they know he wouldn't choose you. Because you're not something that brings peace to this brother, that adds to his life.
Let me tell you, a sister told me that straight up.
Right.
A sister one time told me that. This was years ago. Right. I was in the school. We was laughing about a man having a bunch of women. Right. And she says, my man can't have a bunch of women because I like to fight. And when I fight, I don't want him to have anywhere to go. She said to me just like that. Yes. When we fight, I don't want him to have anywhere to go because I like to fight. You understand what I mean? Right. That's the danger, and that's the danger around in their mind around him having more than one woman. Right. She wants you to fight and be in the streets. Yeah. And think about what you did or what she said. Because she knows the minute you go to another woman, you ain't thinking about her. Nope. You eating, you living life. You drinking wine, having a good time. Right. You're not thinking about her. She's feeling the pain. Right. And you know what it's going to do? That's going to force her to wash her mouth next time. Sisters, if you have a hard time controlling your man, controlling your mouth, when your man gets another woman, you're going to learn to control your mouth. Mm-hmm. It's a form of discipline. I'm telling you, it's going to be a natural discipline. You understand? It's going to be natural discipline because now when he leaves out that house and doesn't see you for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, next time you see him, before you go and say that offensive thing to him again, you're going to think twice. Like, damn, last time I said it, I ain't seen him for 3 weeks. This time I might not see him for a month. Yeah. And you will control yourself. Right. You know what I mean? And you will humble yourself and you'll become a better person. Right. You know what I mean? Or just don't look for judgment or punishment to make you a better person. Just start to change yourself. Right. Do like Alcohol Anonymous, you know, or the AA means. Hi, my name is Rhonda, and I'm a bitch. Hi, Rhonda. Salakia, but you just change, you know, acknowledge that you're wrong, acknowledge that you done some evil things. I mean, most of these sisters, they know they've done some evil things to their husbands. They know it, but they won't acknowledge it. They'll make an excuse. Well, he did this. Well, you know, he caused me to do that. Well, you know how I get. No, just say, look, I was wrong. I mean, if you've never admitted to your man that you were wrong, you're a problem. You understand what I mean? You are a problem. All right, go ahead, Shabbat.
I like the school's name for him, the Straight Drag.
Oh man. I mean, right now, that being said, you know, give me Proverbs 12, verse 4. No, Salakia, Proverbs 31, verse 10. I mean, now this is very important. This here is a sister that should be honored. Now, when we read this, the reason I hate reading this scripture, because every evil woman thinks this is them, and it's offensive to know what kind of sister this is, and for you to equate yourself to that. You understand? Every Christian woman in the church thinks this is them. I mean, somebody get that for me. Proverbs 31, verse 10.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Read it again.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
It starts off by telling you this thing here is not easy to find. It tells you from the beginning, from the jump, who can find a virtuous woman? You understand? These Christians, these sisters, I mean, they think this is them, but guess what? You telling me Tyrone found you, Rashid found you, Michael found you, David found you, Timothy found you, Jeff found you, Larry found you, Tom found you. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? They all found you. You clearly not a virtuous woman. You understand what I mean? They all found you. They all found you and left you. You understand? Read it again.
Okay. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Go ahead.
For her price is far above rubies.
For what?
Her price is far above rubies.
Far above that ring that you cherish so much, sister. That ring that you think makes you a wife. Her price is worth more than that. Right. You understand? This thing you could show how big the rock is and say this costs $10,000. That's nothing compared to what this sister is to her husband. You understand what I mean? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 11. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her.
Her husband trusts her. You understand? When he said her husband trusts her, it's on many levels. It's not just, well, he trusts her not to cheat. Yeah, he trusts her to be loyal to him, and he trusts her to produce. You understand what I mean? And we're going to find out about it. Keep reading.
Come. So that he shall have no need of spoil.
So that he should what?
Have no need of spoil.
Meaning what? He don't have to go out and rob nobody. Yeah. You understand? You sisters also on some, oh, he always in the streets doing this, doing that. This woman's man does not have to do what your man is doing because she's virtuous. You understand? If you complain that he's always in the streets hustling and doing this and doing wrong, it's because you are not virtuous. Right. You understand? Right. You are not virtuous. Keep reading.
Okay. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
That's what we just read. Anyone finding a wife finds a good thing. Because what she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Right. You understand what I mean? All the days of her life. Keep reading.
Okay. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens.
Read that part again. This part really always bugs me out. All right, go ahead, read again.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night.
She rises in the middle of the night. Go ahead.
And giveth meat to her household.
She feeds her household, her husband, her children. Go ahead.
And a portion to her maidens.
And the what?
And a portion to her maidens.
A portion to her maidens, meaning that she have young girls who live in the house. These are maidens. You understand? These might be from families that are poor, and they give their children to work in households. Right? These are maidens, these young girls, right? She's not fighting with these young girls, talking about some, oh, I think you was looking at my man. Are you cheating with her? Treating them, abusing them, and calling them all the time. You ever see how these women treat younger women? She's not doing that to them. She is making sure they ate. This is a different sister. This is not the like if you constantly accusing your man of cheating and doing this and doing that, this is not you, sister. You understand? This is not you. Do not compare yourself to this sister. You see her works. You know, going to the church once a week to twerk does not equal this. You understand? Having a ring on your finger does not equal this. This sister is different. She's bred different. She's a righteous sister. And here's the good news. You have potential to be her. You have potential to be this sister here. That's why it's written down so you understand what a virtuous woman is, what a righteous woman is. You have that potential, but you also have the potential to be that woman who murders her children too. And this is what, let me tell you something on the side. If you don't check yourself, right? You ever read a story about a woman who, let's say, I remember years ago, one shocking, a woman, she put her newborn in the microwave. This was years ago. I remember I heard that story and I was like, who would do that? Let me tell you something. We're all human beings, meaning that what? We could become that if we don't check ourselves. Everybody in here has potential to become a murderer if you don't check yourself. Everybody here has potential to be a child molester if you don't check yourself. Nobody wakes up and says, you know what, I'm going to kill my baby. It happened. That same sister who did that, I guarantee you, let's say 5, even a year before she did that, if you would have asked her, would you ever kill your baby? She would be offended by the comment. Yet here she is. You understand? She became that. If you don't check yourself, if you just let your emotions run wild, you'll become whatever evil thing the demons allow you to become. You understand? Or you could check yourself and become something righteous, something that's good, something that's pleasant to you, a crown on your husband's head. You know what I mean? A priest and prophet of the Lord for brothers. You could become that. Or you become the next dope boy. You become a drug dealer. You become, every vile, evil thing. I mean, men go to jail, come out gay. Men go to jail, come out Muslim. Like you coming out something. You know what I mean? Coming out blood, Crip. You're coming out something. You understand? Because things and environments change you. That's why this environment here, as I was telling the sister earlier, the integrity of this environment is everything, because people are coming in here to change into something that's righteous. Yep. And we have to protect that above all. Yep. I mean, we have to protect that above all, because this is the place, just like you go to jail to become Crip, or go to jail to become gay, or become whatever the hell you become. This is a place that turns men into priests and prophets of the Lord. Right. With 100% success rate, by the way. You know what I mean? As long as you're in here. Right. Right. And we have to preserve that. Right. I mean, and we're ready over time. Well, read the rest for yourself. Yeah. We're already familiar with that, with those scriptures. I mean, with that, we're going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shapat.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We got an I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. And the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced by I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. upcoming holy convocation. Purim, 14th day and 15th day of the 12th month. Monday the 14th of February and Tuesday the 15th of February, 2022. You find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Akwathia to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means to stand. We'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yah Yamatah, Saw, which means to turn, Sister Amajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatham Hashem Yahushua.
Yah Yamatah, class dismissed.